यूनिट नंबर 16 operational risk and integrated risk management. ठीक है, today one of my friend is getting married from bankers only. ठीक है, so in Bangalore, but I won't be able to achieve like go there. ठीक है, so tomorrow morning I'll go at 7 o'clock. Otherwise he'll get angry on me. So he's a banker. He work with this Grameen Bank आपका, ठीक है, Karnataka Grameen Banks, but he's posted somewhere else. But now he's calling me, so I'll go tomorrow for sure. So similarly, you guys also have to some sort of sacrifices. You also have to do some sort of sacrifices. So he is actually he is personally texting me right now. Chalo. So operational risk आपका operational risk due to glitches and BCBS definition is here. Then we have operational risk classification. This is again very important. Event based and cause based. Cause based and event based. Operational risk management practices, management overview and organizational structure. This is common. Process and framework common. Monitoring common. Operational risk qualification common. Operational risk mitigation common. Factor parameters required to implement advanced measurement approach. This part is very important. You can expect case studies and all around this particular one. Integrated risk management, again this is very important. Necessity of integrated risk management challenges and integrated risk management approach, again very important. So there are some areas which are very very important from this particular topic also. So when it comes to the your operational risk, so there is a definition which is given by BCBS. Operational risk, no, this is not the definition. See, it is, this is basic meaning. That definition should be part of this particular one. This is the definition. This is the definition which is given by BCBS for the risk of losses resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes, people, system, or from external events. So this definition is given by BCBS, Basel committee aapka, about this one. So it is something like, let's say there is a server down. That is a operational risk. There is an employee strike. That is a आपका operational risk. Let's say there is some sort of events going on or like some sort of dispute around the branch area and all. Due to that particular one, we won't be able to open branch or any other things like technological failures and all. So they all generally comes under this. Inadequate or failed internal processes, people, we all systems or any external events. They generally categorize under this. So loss data and others, they are generally part of this. Operational risk result from the possibility of suffering losses as a result of flaws or failures in the organization, internal procedures, employee decision, and the other areas also, right? So nature, the second consecutive paper of Basel 2, basically Basel 2, 2004, like operational risk was not part of your Basel 1. Basel 1 was more toward the credit risk, and the second 1996 amendment, with that we generally include the market risk. So in the second consecutive paper of Basel 2, where we introduce the operational risk, and this is generally categorized as cause and effect basis. So classification based on cause that are responsible for the operational risk, and classification based on effect of risk were suggested. Classification based on cause and effect like this. So cause based classification, it can be people oriented causes like negligence, incompetence, and insufficient trainings and integrity or key man and all. Process oriented आपका transaction based causes, business volumes of fluctuations, organizational complexity, product complexity, and major changes. Process oriented operational control based, inadequate segregation of duties, lack of management supervision, inadequate procedures. Technology oriented causes, poor technology, telecom. Then we have obsolete applications, outdated applications, basically lack of automation, information system complexity, poor design, development, and testing. External causes, natural disaster, operational failures of a third party detroit social or political context. होता है ना कई बार से there are some riots in the city, so we won't be able to open the branch, or even due to those riots our branch face some sort of losses, or ATMs face some sort of losses, they generally comes under this particular one. ठीक है, so they all generally comes under these particular areas. हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, कौन है महेश सर? फ्रॉम दिस सैटरडे ऑनवर्ड्स वी विल बी डूइंग केस स्टडीज, ठीक है, नो वरीज, सैटरडे ऑनवर्ड्स, ठीक है. So just like I have already done one session around the concept part and all, but that was completely in mostly in Hindi and all. Okay. So there are so many peoples from South also. Those do not have any sort of understanding around that Hindi things and all. So that's why I'm quickly revising these particular things so everyone can get benefited. Luckily, we have this in this term we got 2 weeks आपका. So from Saturday onwards we'll be having regular marathons. First set will be based on case studies and application based or statement based question. We are not going to do any sort of direct question now because I have already provided you 2 set आपका. You just have to consume that particular one. Alright Mahesh sir, from Saturday for sure you are going to have those particular sessions. So effect based आपका, it is legal liability, means आपका there is some regulatory penalties and all. Regulatory compliances in taxation, ठीक है. Legal liabilities, like let's say there is some flaws in the law, we are not fulfilling those, but let's say we entered into a contract with the customers and that makes some sort of default and all. Regulatory आपका penalties and all imposed by RBI or others. Loss or damage to assets due to any reasons, ठीक है. Loss of recourse, any recourse means any sort of collaterals and all, ठीक है. And write downs आपका, any NPS which got write down through this particular one, ठीक है. So this is now event based आपका, ठीक है. Event based classification which generally comes internal frauds, ठीक है. Internal frauds we have. Internal frauds means where we have at least involvement of one or few people from the inside of the bank, ठीक है. Internal fraud is something where we have one person who is involved in that particular fraud. External fraud is where we do not have any internal involvements, but there are some external parties, or the fraud which generally occur due to some third parties and all. Client procedures and business practices, damage to physical asset, business disruption and all. So these are the areas. I'll show you the complete list. So now please go for this one. Internal fraud आपका, internal fraud, losses due to act of type intended to defraud, misappropriate property or circumvent regulations, the law or a company policy, excluding diversity discriminations events which involve at least one internal party आपको, that is internal fraud. ठीक है. Second one is आपका external fraud, loss due to same आपका due to by the third party, employee practices in work place safety आपका, ठीक है. So let's say there is an employee who met with some sort of accident, so we have to compensate through the insurance. So that generally comes under this particular one. There is a customer who visited our branch and some ceiling fan or something happened to that particular person inside the branch, so we have to compensate. That is your आपका workplace safety and all. And even for these safety measures, we have to do something like fire related things or others. We have to keep some provisions. They also involve some cost. They generally comes under this. So losses arising from act inconsistent with employments, health, safety laws or agreements, from payment of the personal injury, or from diversity discrimination events and all. Client, product and business practices, loss arising from unintentional or negligent failures to meet professional obligation to specific lines, and or from the nature or design of a product as well. Damage to a physical asset, so losses arising from the losses or damages to physical asset from natural disaster and all. Business disruption or system failures, loss arising from the disruption of business or a system failures, execution, delivery and others. If we have some sort of problems with this area, they generally comes under this one. Himanshi ma'am, 7 p.m. I'll let you know in the group, but most probably I'll do it from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it will be a marathon. Now from Saturday onwards, every session will be for 3 hours. Or else like actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I used to have, this time we won't have. Monday onwards, it will be at 10 p.m. or 9:30 to 10 p.m. ठीक है. But Saturday and Sunday, Saturday I'm planning for 7 p.m. and Sunday we'll do Saturday we'll be doing 2 sessions. One is Module D revision आपका 10 and another one is आपका Module A practice part आपका, ठीक है. हाँ, definitely that those session will be completely in bilingual and you guys will join live ना, ठीक है. So especially those who are having some sort of problems with language, please do join line and if you miss something ना, you can instantly ask your queries and all, ठीक है. Yes, हाँ रघु सर बिल्कुल, ठीक है. So you won't face any issues with those particular, don't worry guys. Operational risk management organizational framework, again it is same, the framework is same in every case. Like we have board of directors, they're responsible for eventually they're responsible for all losses or even if it is arise from the operational risk. Risk management committee, operational risk management committee, departments, operational risk managers, support group and this thing. I hope now everybody able to remember this particular one. So this is the third or fourth time when we are going through the same process itself, right? So now this part is very, very important. BCBS, to manage the operational risk, there are 11 principles which are generally released by the BCBS. ठीक है. तो जो भी आपके जो problems हैं, मतलब how we should tackle the operational risk or how we should manage the operational risk at bank wide. So for that sake, BCBS, they have provided 11 principles. For liquidity risk, they have provided 13 principles. So these principles are very, very, very important. So now we will quickly go through these particular one. Okay, just a minute, huh? Yes. So we have 11 principles. These are in the name of, we have fundamental principle of operational risk management. So principle 1, it is something related to board of directors. They should take the lead in establishing strong risk management culture. The board of director and senior management should establish a corporate culture that is guided by strong risk management and that support and provide appropriate standards, incentives for the professional and responsible behaviors. Principle 2, bank should, these are by the BCBS, ठीक है, BCBS, Basel committee आपका, ठीक है, Basel committee on banking supervision. Bank should develop, implement and maintain a framework that is fully integrated into bank overall risk management procedures. The framework for operational risk management chosen by individual bank will depend on range of factors including nature, size, complexity and risk profile as well. Third one is board of directors should establish, approve and periodically review the framework. The board of directors should oversee senior management to ensure that policies, processes and system are implemented effectively at decision level. Fourth one is आपका board of directors should approve and review the risk appetite and tolerance system tolerance statements for operational risk that articulate the nature, type and level of operational risk that the bank is willing to assume. Fifth one is आपका senior management should develop for approval by the board of directors and clear, effective and robust governance structure with well-defined, transparent and a consistent line of responsibility. Sixth one is senior management should ensure identification and assessment of the operational risk inherent in all material products or activities, processes and system to make sure the inherent risk and incentives are well understood. Senior management should ensure that there is an approval process for all new product activities, processes and system. Eighth one is senior management should ensure should implement a process to regularly monitoring operational risk profile and material exposures to the loss. Material exposure means आपका money, in the term of money आपका how much we are losing from those particular activities. Appropriate reporting mechanism should be in place at the board, senior management and business line level that support proactive management of the operational risk. Ninth one is A bank should have a strong control environment that utilize policies, procedures, and system, appropriate internal control, and appropriate risk management, so risk mitigation or transfer strategies. 10th one is banks should have business resiliency and continuity plan in place to ensure an ability to operate on ongoing basis and limit losses in the event of serve business disruption. The final one is operational risk management practices should be based on a well laid out policy duly approved by the board levels that describe the processes involved in the controlling operation risk. Now, how you'll see the question based on these 11 statements? They'll give you one statement up. Okay, which of the following statement is inaccurate about the BCBS guidelines or principles toward the operational risk management? If you, I'm not saying you go for principle wise rectification and all, never. You just have to go through these particular statements once आपका with the help of questions, आपका practice question. If you practice these particular one, so they are going to help you in your upcoming examination. No rectification is required. You just try to build your understanding around these 11 principles and all, and with that understanding you will be able to solve this one. ठीक है? चलो, so now next one आपका, who is here आपका? Shubham sir, what happened? Shubham Rana sir is asking for some feedback आपका, वो भी live session में, ठीक है? Just like, I don't know why you come up with this particular question. All good ना? सब कुछ सही है? If you have some doubt, just connect me. I'll help you out. Chalo. So business resiliency and continuity, the policy should cover. Now this is something like, let's say this is something ki if there is some stressful situation happen in the past or like in the future, sorry. So we can, like, there should not be, like we used to say na, business is a going concern. अब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि like there is some situation happen and we stop doing activities and all. No, if you stop, that means you are going to make a huge losses and all. So we should have a plan B in our hand, so we can quickly identify the problems and we can deal with them, and simultaneously we are serving to our customers also. So that is something around this one. So operational risk management structure, for that one we'll be requiring operational risk management system. Role and responsibilities, operational risk management processes, and risk assessment and measurement. Again, it comes to the same. When it comes to these particular areas, so that generally are related to this particular one. Now this is something your homework, guys. You can go through this particular one. So these are the events aapka, internal frauds. So they generally categorize under the different areas aapka. So this is something which you have once, please go through these particular one once, because we have number of slide for this one. Second one, external frauds, which include these particular internal frauds. We have unauthorized activities or theft and fraud, two categories. Here itself we have theft and fraud plus आपका system security, like hacking damages and all, they generally comes under this one. Then we have employment practices and workplace safety that we have discussed. It is given in detail आपका what generally comes under these many areas. Next one we have client product and business practices. So this also we have discussed, but now under that particular head there are so many things which generally comes under this particular area. Damage आपका, that natural calamities and all, business disruption and system failures, which include these many areas. Okay, so these are the areas which you can go through आपका, which you can go through these many areas and all. Okay, all right guys, yes. Chalo, next one, integrated risk management. Okay, so now the next one is आपका okay, please quickly go through this particular one. It is something आपका, some sort of manipulations. Who was this? Tina ma'am, it is some sort of manipulations आपका. Sometimes there is some manipulation with the documents and all, so that is generally comes under this particular one. All right, okay, chalo. So integrated risk management approach, which is also known as IRM. So this process, we have strategy, organization, where we have we means आपका that profile of CRO, Chief Risk Officer, which was introduced by RBI. So that portion is very important. This should be part of this one. Okay? Yes, sir. So the process integrated risk management consists strategy, integration of risk management as a key corporate strategy. Integration of risk management is something, let's say we have different type of risk. We have operational risk, we have market risk, or we have liquidity or आपका credit risk. So these all are interlinked with each other. So we need some sort of integration. We need a system which can integrate all these type of risk and all, and that system can escalate when anything went wrong in that particular area as well, right? So establishment of organization, establishment of chief risk officer, CRO, it is mentioned here only, okay, with his or her accountability of the accountability to the board of directors. As part of effective risk management, RBI has advised bank inter alia to have a system of separation of risk management, credit risk management function from the risk sanction process. However, RBI observed that the bank followed the diverse practices in this regard. In order to being uniformity in approach followed by banks, they generally introduced this particular one, that is आपका bank should appoint CRO team, one independent profile which is known as chief risk officer, right? Bank should lay down board approval policy clearly defining the role and responsibilities of this person in the organization. Okay? So role and responsibilities of the CRO. CRO has control and has to control and coordinate the function of risk management departments of the bank. Because of the importance of this particular profile, CRO is directly going to report MD and CEO of that particular bank. Okay? So this is very, very important, guys. This get asked so many times. So please do remember this. The process of identifying, assessing, controlling, and financing risk must common across the whole enterprise. Risk management system must be developed to provide information and analytical tools to support enterprise risk management functions as well. So they generally comes under this particular one. Okay? CRO has to be given overall risk related responsibility under the board of director. Position I'm 100% true, and as this profile is very important, or that position is very important, so that's why the reporting is directly to the MD and CEO as well. Okay? So when properly implemented, integrated risk management align the strategic aspect of the risk with day-to-day operational activities. Strategic aspect means the long-term aspect of the risk management with the day-to-day operation. Facilitate greater transparency for investors and regulators. Enhance revenue and earning growth. Control downside risk potentials. Implementation of integrated risk management has challenges. So it's a real-time concern, business challenges and cultural issues. The process integrated risk management consists of strategy, integration of risk management as a key corporate strategy, organization, आपका chief risk officer position. Then we have process, the process of identifying, assessing, controlling, and financing risk. Then system आपका, which like MIS and all, so they can escalate issues on timely basis, so we can work on those particular areas and all. So they generally comes under this one. Okay? CRO things is very, very important one. April 2017 when we introduced this particular one, and this profile get asked so many times, so please be careful around this one, guys, right? Operational risk arise only from human errors, excluding technological. The Basel Accord 3 are defined, Basel Committee defined basically Basel 2. Operational risk as loss due to fail of internal process, people, people, system, and external events. One of the benefit of the managing operational risk effectively is to reduce capital allocation under Basel 2 norms. Traditional banking system had fewer operational risk due to slow and infrequent changes, allowing time for the system to stabilize. Rapid technological adoption in bank increase exposure to operational risk due to inadequate time for system and process to stabilize, right? तो क्या होगा आपका correct answer इसका, ठीक है? So these three remaining four statements are correct. This is wrong. ठीक है? only, it is not only human, it is human plus technological failures. Okay, that's why this statement is right, and this is also correct. Again, this is also correct, this is also correct. So 2 3 4 5. Okay, 2 3 4 5 means option C should be right answer for this one. Correct hai? So this is the one, and this is the definition which is given by the Basel आपका BCBS committee or your Basel 2 norms. Okay, next one. A mid-sized private bank, Secure Trust Bank Limited, recently faced a series of incident affecting its operations. What they generally face, these are the problems. A senior IT developer intentionally embedded malicious code in a core banking updates, leading to a data breach. A new wealth management product was launched without fully vetted in the terms, resulting in regulatory penalties. Several frontline employees were found processing transactions without adhering to internal verification checks, leading to financial losses of 80 lakhs. Bank's Chennai data center was flooded due to a cyclone, disrupting service for 72 hours. An operations team accidentally deleted historical loan records while performing routine maintenance. The bank had the compensate customer for losses incurred due to malfunctioning in its mobile banking application. So these are the problems which are the operational problems which this particular bank faced during the period. Which of the following statement clearly correctly classify the incident as per Basel operational risk framework? So what will be your right answer? Okay. The statement incident one, which is example of internal fraud under the event based classification and people oriented causes under the cause based classification. Okay. These are the two. First statement is 100% true, there is no issue. So we have two type of classification, event based and आपका cause based. ठीक है, so cause based and event based आपका. ठीक है, so incident to relate to client product and business practices under event based classification and can also link to process oriented transaction based cause आपका. ठीक है, न्यू वेल्थ में हाँ बिल्कुल 100% true. ठीक है, incident 3 would be categorized as execution, delivery and process management in the event based approach and also reflect a process oriented operational control based failure आपका. Again true. ठीक है, incident 4 correspondent to damage to physical asset due to that flood in Chennai. ठीक है, in event based classification in external cause आपका. This is also true. ठीक है, 5 is the best seen as employee practice and workplace safety. No, employee practices and workplace safety is something like that accident happen in the within the branch. ठीक है, कोई सीलिंग फैन गिर गया किसी के ऊपर, उसका ट्रीटमेंट पे जो खर्चा आया और the other insurance related activities and all. ठीक है, that is generally comes under this particular one. ठीक है, not with this particular one. ठीक है, it should be आपका what was the incident 5 आपका, the bank and operation team accident. हाँ, so it should be what should be your clear cut answer for this particular one? It is basically आपका practice oriented errors and all. ठीक है, so the event based classification and external cause, there is no external cause because it is internally done by the people आपका. ठीक है, this is wrong. ठीक है, statement 5 is wrong, 6 is not here. चलो, तो अब आपका what 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 means आपका A, option A should be right answer for this particular question. Correct है? Yes. So the deletion of record is not related to employment. अच्छा, okay. Workplace safety. It is better categorized under the. It will be categorized under execution, delivery, and process management. Event based, and it is not external things आपका. It is not a external issue आपका. This is completely internal. आपका internal. It will be categorized under the internal events. Next one. Which of the following statement correctly describes specific categories under the classification of operational risk by event type के हिसाब से we have discussed these particular one in detail in our कॉन्सेप्ट समरी, ठीक है। तो जब हमने कॉन्सेप्ट समरी वाला सेशन किया था ना, तो वहां पे हमने इनको डिटेल में डिस्कस किया था। आई हैव शोन यू दैट इंटायर चार्ट ऑल्सो, ठीक है, जिसमें वी हैव अराउंड 5 to 6 कैटेगरीज आपका, ठीक है, जहां से ये जो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस जो आपको देखने के लिए मिल सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो व्हाट विल बी योर करेक्ट आंसर गाइज? So internal fraud involve losses due to act by internal parties to intended to misappropriate property or bypass regulation, excluding discrimination events after him. Business disruption and system failure include losses resulting from disruption in business operation or breakdown in system infrastructure. Client product and business practices cover losses arising only from deliberate violation of fiduciary responsibilities toward the client. No, it can be आपका unintentional also, ठीक है, कोई जरूरी नहीं कि deliberate ही हो, there can be some unintentional also, ठीक है, so we'll not go with this one. 1 and 2 means option A will be right answer for this one. So statement 3 category also include unintentional or negligent failures to meet obligations, not just deliberate violations, ठीक है। So कई बार हो सकता है कि मतलब like there was no intention behind doing those kind of errors, but there was some error happened, so that is generally part of this particular one, ठीक है। चलो अगला क्वेश्चन गाइस, नेक्स्ट वन। So regarding the operational risk management framework and practices in bank, बताइए क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर? So basically you are revising your concepts also, concept आपका कहीं ना कहीं with the help of detailed solutions and all. So the key business process in a bank must be mapped into sub process through an exercise led solely by the operational risk group आपका, ठीक है। It should be interlink आपका, not solely, ठीक है। It should be embedded with this process or system, ठीक है। Qualitative scorecard based self assessment system is used by business group, which is later normalized by the operational risk management department. It can be quantitative assessment of operational risk is specially recommended during the introduction of new product आपका। Risk monitoring include regular feedback mechanism and collection of incident data to assess both frequency and probability of operational loss. The information system infrastructure should be aligned with the operational risk management framework to support the effective monitoring and control. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 means option C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct hai? Very good. Okay. So mapping of business process into sub processes is a joint exercise between operational risk group and businesses group. Okay. Not a kind, we cannot do it in the isolation format and all, right? Next one. Bank X is using basic indicator approach BIA for the capital charge of operational risk. Okay. Calculate capital for operational risk. It audited our financial for the past 3 years where we have this kind of data. Okay. Year 1 आपका profit of 400 crores, year 2 loss of 50 crores, and year 3 आपका profit of 350 crore rupees. Okay. So now based on this particular information, the net interest income, and non-interest income are included as per the regulatory definition. The bank now need to compute the average gross income and the capital charge. So what will be the capital charge under BIA for operational risk? बताओ दोस्तों क्या होगा correct answer? What will be a right answer for this one? So we have okay, this 3, 7, 20. into BI bucket is आपका 15%. ठीक है. So what will be your correct answer for this one? We will ignore this negative data. ठीक है. So 400 plus आपका 370. So that is how much? 750 crores आपका. ठीक है. And BI bucket is how much? 15%. So if you calculate the 15% of 750 crores, you'll get to know the answer itself. ठीक है. तो क्या होगा आंसर आपका? ठीक है. हाँ. So B आपका ठीक है. Year 3 gross income is this. Year 2 this. The bank now need to compute the average gross. अच्छा okay, sorry. अच्छा okay, average of this divide by 2. So it is how much आपका कितना होता है? 375 through 375 का 15%. ठीक है. Not this will be the right one. ठीक है. So average आपका 375 का 15%. That means हाँ, B must be right answer for this one. 375 into 15%, which is this. B should be right answer for this particular one. Yes. हाँ, ठीक है. So that is the case आपका in this should be right answer for this one. ठीक है. So 400 plus it was gross income na, so that should be avoided. So that is avoided from this one. I thought they have added that one also. Okay. So it is 400 आपका plus this divide by 2. We do not include the negative income basically. ठीक है. So 400 आपका year 1 and year 3 आपका 350. So the average of that particular one was 375 of last 3 years, and the BI bucket is आपका that generally falls under the 15%. We have 12%, 15%, 28%. ठीक है. So they have given it is comes under the 15%. So that means आपका 56.25 crores rupees आपका. ठीक है. Yes, हाँ, बिल्कुल करेक्ट. समझ में आया ना. ये बहुत बार पूछे जाते हैं ऐसे छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चंस आपका, जिनको आपको ध्यान रखना है. नेक्स्ट वन गाइस, नेक्स्ट वन. Next question, please quickly go through this particular one. So what will be your correct answer? Operational risk mitigation. So under the advanced measurement approach, bank may recognize the risk mitigation impact of insurance, but this is limited to 20% of total operational capital charge. Take operational risk capital charge. That means, let's say your operation capital charge for operational risk is 100 crore rupees. So out of that 100 crore rupees, maximum 20% can be covered through the insurance. Okay? So while you report that particular one, so let's say the overall one was 100 crore rupees. So 20% we can show it that we have done the insurance for that particular area. So that is 100% correct. Yeah, this is 100% true. Aapka. Insurance cover can provide mitigation for operational risk such as capital allowances permitted irrespective of operational risk approach adopted. No. Okay, it is depend on the, like if it is AMA, then only you can go for this particular one. This is wrong. Okay. Due to the complexity and high cost implementing the AMA, BCBS considering replacing with the new standardized measurement approach SMA. This is also correct. Okay? The 1 in 3. 1 in 3 means आपका option A should be right answer for this particular question. ठीक है? A will be right answer for this one also. Right? Next one. Which of the following statement regarding integrated risk management approach are correct? Again, integrated risk management. So integrated risk management is something like where let's say we have market risk, capital risk, credit risk, or the other type of risk. We simultaneously managing every risk आपका. ठीक है. So that is must for the bank itself. ठीक है. This is generally ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना कि हम जैसे let's say we have created one asset, हमने कोई asset create किया है तो उसमें हम ऑपरेशन रिस्क को अलग मैनेज कर रहे हैं, मार्केट रिस्क को अलग कर रहे हैं, आपका क्रेडिट अगर पोर्टफोलियो है बोरोवर्स उसको अलग कर रहे हैं, तो दैट इज नॉट फिजिबल. ठीक है, वो आपका पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है. फॉर दैट वन वी जनरली यूज द IRM. ठीक है, इंटीग्रेटेड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. ठीक है. So integrated risk management in banking involve addressing only financial risk like credit. It also include the operational risk. Okay, this is wrong. Okay. The net non-financial also basically. The net effect of the risk across an organization may be lower than the sum total of individual risk due to the diversification effect. 100% it can be. Okay, there is no issue with this one. Okay. Comparing firm solely on profitability ratios can be misleading if risk label are not considered. This is also true. Integrated risk management implies a coordinated and holistic approach, not just accounting consideration. Risk adjusted return on capital RAROC is a central metrics in IRM, emphasizing efficiency, capital utilization relative to the risk exposure. True. So 2345 means option C will be right answer for this particular one. Option C up, not A. Okay? A is 2, 3, 4. This is RAROC we generally use for the आपका business line wise ना. So that is generally sync with this IRM model itself. Okay? Santosh sir and other also. So risk adjusted return on capital is essential to balance risk and capital efficiency, because that generally tell us about the each business line level risk and all. ठीक है, तो business line level पे कितना हो सकता है and all that generally get covered through this particular one. ठीक है, चलो अगला question guys. Next question on your screen. Please quickly go through the question and try to answer. In the context of integrated risk management for financial institution, okay, similar set of question आपका, similar set of question. So, integrated risk management help organization capitalize on potential upside from risk, not just minimize the losses itself. ठीक है, first statement. Second one आपका, it require standard definitions. It required standard definition metrics reporting to ensure a consistent and timely risk assessment across all business unit. IRM is limited to compliance and regulatory reporting and does not influence by day-to-day operation. It does influence by this particular one. So 1 and 2 means option A will be right answer for this particular one. Correct? Yes. Okay. Next one guys. Next one. About the CRO. So which of the following statement correctly relate the IRM, integrated risk management approach, as advised for the banks? So bank must ensure the CRO, Chief Risk Officer, report directly to board risk management committee to ensure independent control over sanctioning of credit. First statement आपका, ठीक है. Second one is आपका integrated risk management require a top-down policy framework aligning with the bank strategic objectives and overall risk appetite. The CRO responsible for credit appraisal and sanctioning decision in line with overall risk policies of the bank itself. Again, third statement, Basel 2, provide incentive for IRM adoption by allowing reduced capital requirement if bank follow internal measurement approach supported by the adequate data and processes. RBI guidelines 17 mandated the appointment of CRO with a clearly defined role, and CRO should report directly to managing director and CEO, not to the credit function or treasury one. Okay? So what will be your right answer? These two statements are wrong and rest all are correct. Okay? So due to the importance of this particular profile, okay, they have to directly report to MD and CEO. Okay? That is clearly directed by RBI itself. So not to the board risk management committee and all, first of all. And this statement is also wrong. He is not responsible for these kind of things. Senior management is responsible for this one. So 245 means आपका option C should be right answer for this particular one. Okay? So statement 1 is incorrect. CRO must report to MD or CEO. And third one is incorrect. The credit sanctioning function must be separated from the credit risk management function. CRO is responsible for risk control, not for the credit sanctioning. Right. Next one, guys.